So welcome to day one of the Launch Your Workshop 5-Day Challenge. I'm, of course, Callan Rush, and I'm the co-founder of Lucrative Luminary Training and the author of Wealth Through Workshops. I've had over a decade of experience designing and delivering and filling transformational workshops, and I have learned a ton about what works and what doesn't work. And I'm so excited to share everything I know with you in this challenge. So today you're going to take the first critical step towards hosting your first successful workshop. So be sure to watch this video and the ones that follow carefully. Take great notes, and most importantly, be sure to take the micro action I recommend at the end of each video. I've made some big promises with this challenge, and I promise to fulfill, but I can't do it without you. So you also have to make a solid commitment. And this means follow the videos carefully, take the actions I suggest, and stay super involved in the Facebook group. We'll reward your participation and progress along the way with personal acknowledgements, pats on the back, and of course, prizes. So stay tuned to see how that works. Okay, so today we're going to tackle step one. And step one is all about choosing your topic category for your workshop. Now, before you exclaim, easy, and you run out and decide, I want to offer you a few things to consider. There's one common and costly mistake people make when trying to decide what their first workshop should be about, and I call it the self-focus phenomena. So self-focus is when a business owner creates workshops or programs based solely on what they know about, have expertise in, or passion around. So when deciding what their workshop will be about, they ask themselves, what do I know about? And then they create a list of things that they know about or have experience or training in. And from that list, they create a workshop or retreat or a seminar on one of the topics on their list. Now, if they're lucky, they're going to attract some people to a live event for an inherently valuable workshop on the topic they chose. But at the end of that event, they'll understand that they need to sell something else, and so they'll ask themselves again, what else do I know about that I can teach these people next? And from there, they'll create another workshop, and lather, rinse, repeat. But what they end up with is a bunch of workshops based on topics that they know about, but no logical path between them. Now, it's not that this way of choosing a topic is the wrong way, it's just not very leveraged. So I imagine you're here because, provided all things go well, you want to have more than one successful workshop. You likely want to have a successful series of workshops or a successful workshop business. So if this is true, you need to understand that choosing your first workshop topic is critical. If you choose based solely on what you know about, it's going to be very, very difficult to build a very successful workshop business. You see, if you build programs and services based on what you know about only, or you have experience about, without considering a client-centered, logical program path, you'll work super hard to sell one thing, and once it's consumed, you have to work equally as hard to sell the next one, and equally as hard to sell the next one, and so on. This cycle generally would continue until you burn out or you go out of business. So I call this self-focused approach a lateral workshop path, and it just isn't an easy way to have success. Another downside, when you ask, what do I know about, the focus for building your business is on you. But as an entrepreneur or a business owner, you got to understand that your goal is to solve problems for other people at a profit. So this means when you're coming up with the topic ideas for your workshop, you have to put your focus on the people that you want to serve first and foremost. Many people blame business failure on a lack of systemization, a lack of capital, poor cash flow, hiring the wrong people, a slow economy. But the reality is that those problems will happen whether you're Donald Trump or Donald Duck. The question is, will you let them stop you? Do you have the mindset to continue your business despite the inevitable turbulence that you're going to encounter? Because there will be some. So the number one way that I've pulled through the harder times in business is to remain focused on who I'm helping. I draw inspiration from my clients and my potential clients, and that always keeps me inspired. Most business failures have more to do with a fundamental misunderstanding, and this misunderstanding is the confusion surrounding what a business actually is and why it exists in the first place. There's a lack of clarity regarding the attitudes and the disposition one needs to adopt in order to be successful. So right now, I invite you to answer the following question with a simple yes or no. Do you want to offer a workshop or build a workshop business to be of service to others? To state it slightly differently, is being of service a primary motivation for offering your workshop and building your business? A lot of people start out with the idea that they're in business to be of service to others. However, unbeknownst to them, what they actually end up building is a hobby, not a business. Why? Well, it's because of that sneaky self-focus phenomena. I know the kind of people I attract, and I imagine you really do want to serve others while having fun in your business. But because of this self-focus phenomena, and it can be really sneaky, we've got to take a second to remind ourselves of the difference between a business and a hobby. So a business alleviates an actual, conscious, real-world problem for a real set of people, and it does so in a commercially viable way, or in a way that creates profit. A hobby, on the other hand, is a venture, activity, or interest pursued for one's own pleasure or passion. So a hobby exists to please the self. Now, so many times I've heard people say, I'll only work in a business if it's my passion. It must bring me joy all of the time. But the reality is, with a hobby, your primary focus is on your own experience. But if you want to build a workshop business, or any kind of business for that matter, you have to have elements of a hobby, of course, but your primary focus must be on the experience of those you're serving or helping. Does that make sense? So what does this mean in the context of creating a successful workshop? With the potential, of course, to turn into a successful workshop business. Again, you must put the attention on the people that you want to serve and ask, what is one of the first problems that a member of my specific audience might face? And once you have the answer to that question, you're going to have some great topic ideas for your first workshop. Now, here's the cool part. Because understand that inherent in every solution is a new set of problems. So that means once you solve the first problem at your first workshop, inherent in that solution will be a second logical problem that your audience will face. And ideally, your second workshop will solve that second problem. And after the second problem is solved, inherent in that solution will be a third logical problem. Again, ideally, your third workshop will solve that problem. So when you create your workshop path this way, you will do the work to fill that first event, and then a good percentage of those people will just continue on for the rest of your business. So that means they're going to take all of your other workshops because you're solving the problems they're facing in the order that they're facing them in. This is the way to make all of your first-time clients lifetime clients. Also, all of those back-end workshops will be pure profit for you. You'll do the work and absorb the expense to fill that first one, but then it just becomes a simple upsell process with no expense. I call this workshop creation process a spiral revenue path. And a spiral path is about creating a workshop or a program sequence that solves the problems your ideal client has in the order they face them. Let me say that again. A spiral revenue path is about creating a logical problem-solution program path, clearly sequenced and informed by what your ideal client needs in the order they need it. So when deciding what the topic of your first workshop should be about, consider your area of knowledge and experience for sure. But after you do that, you've got to ask, what problem are the people that I want to serve facing first? To get the topic for your second workshop, you just say it again. What's the problem inherent in the first solution? What's the next thing they're facing? And you do the same thing for your third workshop, your fourth workshop, and so on. You can actually build a spiral path that's 4, 5, 6, or 7 workshops deep if you want. Can you see the brilliance in this? Most workshop leaders create a lateral revenue model and they end up working way too hard and spending way too much money to make a go of it with their workshop business. So even if you only want to try leading a first workshop to see how it feels and then decide if you want a full-on workshop business, I still want to set you up to have that choice. So this means making sure that the topic of your first workshop is the first rung on a potential problem-solution spiral. Okay, before I guide you to choose your topic category for your first workshop, I want to deepen your understanding of how spiral revenue works. So specifically, I want to demonstrate how to choose the topic for a first workshop by modeling how a spiral program path works. So let's use a nutritionist as our example. So to date, she's only worked one-on-one, but she really wants the leverage that workshops provide, and she knows they're going to help her reach more people and make more money. So as she's brainstorming what her first workshop topic should be about, she doesn't ask, what could my first nutrition workshop be about? She considers her expertise for sure, but then she asks, what problem might someone that I'd like to help face first? And she puts her attention on a potential client who might attend her workshop, and she thinks about what top of mind first problem this ideal client might be concerned with. So for the sake of our example, let's say our nutritionist has always wanted to help young adults, and she happens to have a friend with a 19-year-old son. And she knows this young man is headed off to college, and her friend has done a great job of raising him. But you know what? Her friend also cooked her son all of his breakfasts, made her son all of his lunches, prepped most of his dinners over the years, and as he goes off to college, he is going to be ill-equipped in the area of food prep and nutrition. So the nutritionist keeps her focus on the young man, who would be an ideal client for her. and she considers what top of mind or first problem will this young man have as he lies in bed at 2 a.m. alone at college for the first time. And as she contemplates, she thinks, well, he's probably anxious, wondering how he'll do at school. He wants to prove his independence, get good grades, especially since mom and dad are footing the bill. And he really wants to make mama proud. He doesn't want to disappoint his mom. So suspecting all of this, our smart nutritionist decides to offer a first short workshop. And this workshop is a 3-hour education-based presentation that takes place at his college. And she calls the talk, 3 Common Mistakes First-Year College Students Make That Lead to School Failure and Disappointed Parents. Wah, wah. Right in the title, she's speaking to that first problem he was just worried about. So she puts some posters up and advertises in the school paper, and our young man, along with a pack of his friends, sees the ad and says, wow, this workshop is for me. I was just thinking about this last night. I got to get to this workshop and figure out how to avoid failing school and disappointing my parents. Now, unbeknownst to him, the little talk is put on by our clever nutritionist. So she shows up at the talk, and so does he, and he learns a ton. But his main takeaway is that good nutrition is the golden key to doing well at school. When you eat well, your body and your brain functions well, and this allows you to study better, learn, retain information faster, and thus get better grades. And better grades lead to happy parents. Makes a lot of sense to him. So at the end of the talk, the nutritionist gives some information about a longer program that he can invest in that will teach him the first step to good nutrition, namely how to shop for healthy food. So in this first paid program in her spiral, the first workshop is all about finding and navigating the grocery store. She would teach him how to find the best groceries, how to shop for yummy, nutritious food on a shoestring budget. So our young man happily enrolls in the nutritionist's first workshop. He learns where the best local stores are. He learns a system for shopping for great, healthy, yummy food. He learns how to stay within his college budget. And he does his first big shop, and now he has cupboards full of nutritious food. That first workshop was a success, and our nutritionist loved it and wants to offer another one. But she doesn't ask, what else could I sell this guy? No, she says, I know my business has to be client-centered. So she asks instead, what is the next problem this young man is going to be facing? And she realizes he now has a cupboard full of food and no idea how to cook it. So our clever nutritionist offers our freshmen a chance to enroll in her second program called Basic Cooking Skills, how to prep easy, healthy meals. And he thinks that she is a mind reader because that was the next thing he was worried about. So he happily enrolls in program number 2. And of course, in that second program, he learns how to make mac and cheese. He can now heat up soup. He can fry eggs and make a salad. And he has the solution to his second problem. But let's take this one step further just for fun. So our nutritionist knows that inherent in the second solution she provided is a new problem. And she knows our young freshman will quickly become bored with basic dishes. And when he spots that cute college co-ed across the dorm, he knows he can impress them by making mac and cheese. He also knows if he's going to impress his mom and prove his independence, he needs to expand his cooking repertoire. So that's why our nutritionist's third workshop is Advanced Cooking Skills, how to prep fancy meals that impress. And he, of course, happily enrolls in that class too. And in workshop number 3, our freshman learns how to make fancy dishes that impress his new date and, of course, impress his mom. So the spiral of workshops for the nutritionist model looks like this. Program 1, navigate the grocery store. Program 2, basic cooking skills. Program 3, advanced cooking skills. Now again, to create this path, the nutritionist didn't solely ask herself, what do I know about, and make a program on that. Instead, she kept her expertise in mind, but she focused on one group of people that she'd like to help. And she asked, what is the first problem they face? And after that was solved by her first workshop, she asked again, what's the second logical problem they face? And so on. Again, she considered her expertise, but she kept her focus on her specific audience, and she created a program path based on what they might need. You got it? Great. So if this all feels a bit overwhelming, not to worry. I'm going to break this down into very simple steps. With that said, here is your first easy micro action. Think about where your expertise lies. To keep things easy, I want you to choose a topic area from one of the following categories. Category 1, health. Do you have education and experience on how to help people become healthier? Category 2, wealth. Do you have education and experience on how to help people become wealthier? Maybe you're great at money management or investing or budgets or navigating banks or creating passive income or recurring revenue. Category 3, relationships. Do you have education and experience on how to help people create better relationships? Maybe you're a communication expert or a conflict resolution therapist, or maybe you're just great at helping people find love. Category 4, sex. Do you have education and experience on how to help people heat things up in the bedroom? Category 5, business or entrepreneurship. So do you have education and experience in how to help people grow their business or make it more profitable? Category 6, professional or career advancement. Do you have education or experience in how to help people advance in their career and get those promotions? Category 7, spiritual or personal growth. Do you have education and experience in how to help people feel more confident, connected to God or higher consciousness, how to remove internal blocks so they can get more of what they want in life? Okay, you got it? Health, wealth, relationships, sex, business, career, and spiritual growth. Those are your 7 categories. Now, once you've chosen your category, please list it in the comment section that goes along with this post in this Facebook group. And that's it. Now, tomorrow, we'll use the spiral philosophy I covered today a little more as we get even more specific about the topic for your workshop. So watch for that video. But for now, choose your topic category from the list I gave you. Post your choice in the Facebook group. Okay, great job listening. Good luck choosing. I'm excited to see what you choose. Have fun, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, be brilliant.